ever sat in a GE class and wondered to yourself, what will I ever need this for? Or, I already knew about this from high school. Well, I did it all the time. Furthermore, I believe that reducing general education classes would have a positive impact on American colleges. First of all, college is meant to help go into a specific career path, not a broad knowledge of many subjects. In the past, when colleges first sprouted in the United States, they were taught more about generalized knowledge and about subjects like history and sciences. But now colleges have become more of a vocational and career-specific approach. Secondly, general education classes takes money away from classes and facilities students need for their specific major. And third, students would graduate college faster if they were not first forced to take GEs. College is meant to build knowledge on a specific field in which students want to make a career out of. Most GE classes do not seem as if they would help with the professions that students want to pursue. If they were necessary, then these classes would be part of the required classes for the disciplines the students are in. Also, studying for general education classes takes valuable time out of studying for classes needed for students' majors. And they should not have to sacrifice many of this time in order to participate in classes that they generally do not want to take and that they will not need later on in life. My second reason is that general GE classes take money away from classes or facilities that students need for their major. If there were less GE classes, the schools could afford opening more classes for the major and people could get into these. I myself have a tough time getting into the classes that I need for my core, and am not allowed, because these classes cost a lot of money for the schools to open up, and I have to take many of these general eds to make up for this. School funds could also help resources to expand students' knowledges for specific studies. They could buy the tools needed in order for students to see how on-the-job sites work and other things. My third reason that reducing the amount of general ed classes needed would allow students to graduate faster. Students are having a tough time getting into classes, which are hindering the ability to graduate on time. If there were more classes open for students, then they would be able to get through these classes faster and not have to be stuck at bottlenecks. Another reason is that less classes would be mandatory for students to take. At Cal Poly Pomona, students are required to take 68 units of general ed classes. The amount of total units to graduate is about 210. This means a little less than a third of the time spent at Cal Poly is spent on general ed alone. They want to get students out faster and are reducing the amount of classes students could take over, which in turn is not helping them and only forcing them to study on both general ed and core at the same time. If students were allowed to not take general ed and get out of here faster, then there would be more students heading towards the workforce and be getting out there faster for firms and the government to pick up on. I hope all you guys would agree that reducing general education would have a positive impact for colleges and students alike. Thank you.
All right, the proposition's clearly identified. You've got a good structure that's easy to follow. Your signposting as you go along is pretty clear. The presupposition about what it is that the function of college is needs to be developed a little bit more. You talk about how it was different in the past than it is now, and then you say it's different now, but that's all you say. That's the only proof that you have. Are employers looking for something different? Does society want something different from people who are graduating from schools? The general education requirements, for instance, are largely set up by the institutions that the public has created here, and those are the things that they think are necessary for us to have in society, as opposed to the vocational schools. If you want to learn how to, you want to learn a trade, why not just go to vocational school? You can go to DeVry if you want to do engineering, or you can go to a business school that specializes in just those particular kinds of things. You need to minimize the importance of those general education requirements, in particular by pointing out how you say, why am I going to utilize this, or why would I take this class if I'm never going to utilize the information? But you never tell us what the classes are that you're never going to utilize, why you don't think they're going to be particularly important, and why society is incorrect in assuming that it's important for you to have this information. We've got a lot of hypothetical examples, if, but we don't have any evidence on those points. How much money is devoted to general ed versus how much is paying for the core classes that you're talking about. In fact, the generation of revenues for the institutions might largely be dependent on the general ed requirements. I don't know how much of the program is supported by GE requirements, by the full-time equivalency funds that are brought in by those kinds of things. That would be something that would be applicable to your argument. There's no authority or proof, opinion evidence suggested to support your notion that other things are unnecessary, that the core courses are sufficient for students in order to be successful in completing their programs. So I think that you need some evidence on that. For instance, that a high rate of people in particular course program, let's say veterinarian courses or in business courses, for instance, they don't need writing and literature classes, they don't need to understand foreign language, they don't need to have taken a course in science, because those are issues that they're not faced with. Well, again, there's no evidence on those particular points, and I think that the respondent's going to have a lot of issues to be making about those points. You don't have much audience contact when you're speaking. I do think that you've got a good structure, you've got some good ideas, but you need more proof on those ideas. All right, thank you.